Hello and welcome to Only Connect. I can never decide which is my favourite screwdriver. Of course, for many years there only was the flathead, until in 1934 along came the larger-than-life American businessman Henry F. Phillips with his Phillips screwdriver that he told the world would revolutionise screwdriving with its crosshead design that could generate 10 times the rotational force. But was he just giving us a lot of big talk? And if you'd like to enjoy that joke again, please go to the website, where you'll find it works a lot better written down. Joining me tonight are, on my right, Mick Levine, an advertising account manager who used to work as a fencing instructor in rural Texas. Thomas Grinier, an actuary who likes to be first off a train. And their captain, Christopher Ducklin, a civil engineer who once queued for a taxi in Singapore alongside Sir Tom Jones. United by a passion for public transport, they are the Journeymen. Christopher, why do the British enjoy quizzing so much, do you think?
I think it's the challenge of quizzing, the quest for knowledge, and the usual drinks afterwards.
Yeah.
All about the bears.
Well, thank you very much for coming along this evening. There'll be plenty of drinks afterwards. You are facing tonight, on my left, Bob Wolstenholme, a theatre director who's been repeatedly mistaken for a man named Boris in Ealing. Katie McCorkindale, a tour director who used to work as a banana farmer. And their captain, Yasha Elliott, a grants manager who co-created a popular game called How High Can You Climb a Ladder Wearing Fishing Waders and Motorbike Gloves? All champion cheese eaters, they are the Turophiles. Now, your team auditioned a few times for Only Connect. Tell me what happened there.
We just had a run of bad luck with dates not quite working, and there was one where Katie had to be in France guiding people around a First World War cemetery.
Well, your luck is worse than ever this evening. You're actually on the show. I hope it's not too terrible.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Journeyman, you won the toss, so you'll be going first. Please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
The horned viper, please.
OK, this will be the first question of your first heat. What connects these apparently random clues? First one coming in now.
OK, what happened in 1969?
There wasn't a GTA spin-off set in London in 1969.
Could have been the original one.
OK.
I think we should see that.
Next, please.
Yes,
GTA.
Grand Theft Auto.
Auto.
Yes.
OK. Settings for the video game Grand Theft Auto.
Wow, coming in after 2 clues, you get 3 points. They are all games in Grand Theft Auto. Let's look at all the clues. I can tell you must be video gamers. What happens in these games? What do you have to do?
You drive around, well, you take people out of cars, drive around, knock people over, general transport mischief, yes.
Generally making the world a better place, would you say?
No.
Very well done. Good Grand Theft Auto knowledge. You're off the blocks with 3 points. Turophiles, what would you like?
Can we have lion, please?
Yes, you may. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Charge and release? Is that something gun?
Maybe it was a boost, possibly.
OK.
Next, please.
Band and break up.
Are they word ones? Is there a synonym for both of them?
Oh, I see what you mean. So, charge up, release,
No. Next, please.
locate and move out of position. Relocate?
No, is there something like find or shift or something that's a synonym for both?
Synonym for
next,
both.
please.
Okay. Courage and deter. Encourage? Deter is to... Oh, deter is to discourage.
2 seconds.
So if we disband or...
Yeah, if you diss the first one, if you add diss to the first word, you get the
Second one.
The second one is the term that describes it.
That's absolutely right, Katie. I think you were looking at the beginnings of the words from quite early on, and that's the right thing. It's not en, it's not re, it's dis. Discharge is to release, disband is to break up, dislocate is to move out of position, discourage is to deter. Can you think of a word with dis at the beginning that you can't take off to make another word?
Discuss.
Oh, yes, cuss.
Oh, you
no,
can
cuss,
cuss.
can't you?
It doesn't...
Discus.
Yes, it's not the opposite of the same word. Disgruntled, I like. You get that in P.G. Woodhouse. Although he wasn't disgruntled, he was very far from gruntled. Add dis to make the second word's synonym. Well done. Back to you, Journeyman, for a choice.
2 reads, please.
2 reads. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
This
Paper
is-
notes, all French notes. I searched Gainsbourg was on the 500 franc note.
Okay, so are we set?
Why?
Well, is it? Okay, just doing on. Next, please.
Okay.
Okay, no. Or is that something through hyperinflation? 2 million Colombian. Is it Colombian? No, it's escudos, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll pay
Next,
for
please.
Are these highest denomination banknotes in the countries in which they...
The Bullingdon Club, is that sort of fake?
That's the Oxford.
Yeah.
That's the Oxford.
Next,
Diamond
please.
Oh, it's how much money they burned.
Yeah.
Mick,
How much money they allegedly burned.
That's exactly right. Unlike the building of this set, it's about burning large amounts of money. What can you tell me about the individual clues?
well, the first two clues, I'm not entirely sure. I'd guess Pablo Escobar has burnt in a cocaine-fueled frenzy $2 million.
Well, whether or not he was in a cocaine-fueled frenzy, we don't know, but he was in a sort of mountaintop hideaway, and the story goes his daughter was very cold, so he burnt $2 million just to make a nice roaring fire. He had so much money, he might as well burn that as anything else. And Serge Gainsbourg, you don't know?
No, we don't know.
That was a protest against taxation. He burnt a 500 franc note live on TV. And then what happened to his daughter Charlotte at school was that her classmates burnt her homework in a sort of retaliatory gesture. And what about the last two clues?
Well, the Bullingdon Club, new members, it's probably self-explanatory in terms of what they've allegedly done, and the 1 million was the K Foundation was effectively art, apparently.
That's right. The K Foundation, or the band, the KLF, they made a film where they burned £1 million. And Bill Drummond of that outfit says now, "Of course I regret it." The Bullingdon Club, rumour has it that they're supposed to burn £50 in front of a beggar when they join the club, which is lovely, isn't it? That's a lovely story. May or may not be true. Well done.
Thank you.
Turophiles, what would you like?
Twisted flax, please.
Twisted flax. These are going to be picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Is that Jersey?
Yeah, it is. It's
Are we
Jersey.
Guernsey?
Next, please.
Vowels?
Jersey.
So that's Hampshire.
So the states that are New Jersey, New
Oh,
Hampshire.
Yeah, that's true.
If you add new, you get American states.
Very well done. Absolutely right. Let's have a look at all the clues. What are we looking at?
York.
Yeah, that might be your. And then
It's
New
Mexico.
Mexico.
Bottom right, isn't it?
New Jersey, New Hampshire, New York, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And actually, those American states, sometimes directly and sometimes in a roundabout way, take their names from those places. I think it's quite straightforward in the case of New Jersey and New Hampshire. Do you know how New York got its name, what it's named after? It was the Duke of York that became James II. It was named after him, but of course he's named for York. And Mexico, it's a complicated story of how it came to be called New Mexico. So all places that are namesakes of new states in America. Well done. Journeymen, what would you like?
The Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. It's the music question. What a treat. You'll be hearing your clues. Shout next when you want to hear another one. First one coming in now.
That's the fairground music.
Next, please. Was that Health of the Chief or something?
Yeah.
Is it Health of the Chief? Could be. Next, please.
Arrival of the Queen of Sheba.
So is this all things that are for these, or shall we just go through?
When people arrive.
Yeah, well, when dignitaries are leaders.
Music that is played for the arrival of people or dignitaries.
That's exactly so. Arrivals and entrances. What did we hear?
Well, the first one sounds like something you generally hear from a fairground. The second one was, I think, Hail to the Chief, which is for the American president. The third one is...
Queen of Sheba.
Arrival of the Queen of Sheba from Handel's Solomon Oratorio.
That's exactly what it is. And what do you think we might have heard at Clue 4?
The Wedding March.
Here Comes the Bride is what we would have heard, or the bridal chorus from Lohengrin. And yes, it's actually Entry of the Gladiators is that first clue, although we do associate it with clowns now. Hail to the Chief, often played for presidents, and it was played for presidents living and dead for a while, but it became customary because of one First Lady. Do you know who?
Was it?
Maybe Eleanor Roosevelt?
Well, was it Harrison's?
No, it was Sarah Polk, whose husband
James K. Polk.
And it was played because she worried that nobody would notice when he came into the room. Yeah, there's a great quote from the historian William Seal. Polk was not an impressive figure, so some announcement was necessary to avoid the embarrassment of his entering a crowded room unnoticed. At large affairs, the band rolled the drums as they played the march and a way was cleared for the president. It's actually played when I always come into the studio. I insist they play Hail to the Chief. It makes me quite fond of him. I think it'd be nice to have as president the sort of person where no one notices when they come into a room. Not the case at the moment, I don't think.
Certainly not.
Well done. All entrance music. Back to you, Turophiles, for the last question of the round, the water question. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Spanish country?
Next, please.
French world.
Oh, is it Le Monde, El País? So it's the
The newspapers.
Yeah. It's the national newspapers of those countries translated with the country in the middle of the name of the newspaper.
It's another 3 points for an early buzz. Very well done. Let's have a look at all the clues. Could you translate their titles
The
for
mirror
me?
is Der Spiegel, isn't it? And then what's the...
The Gazetta for Evening Courier. For
Oh,
the
no,
country.
Gazette would be Gazette.
It's
sorry.
actually it is Korea.
Courier.
Corriere della Sera, is it that one?
That's
Yeah,
it,
Corriere
Corriere
Sera.
della Sera.
Yeah.
That's right. And Der Spiegel, the German Mirror, the French World, Le Monde. And what's the Spanish newspaper that means country?
El País.
El País, that's absolutely right. They are the meanings in English of the titles of foreign newspapers. Well done. That means at the end of round one, the Journeymen have 6 points, the Turophiles have 7. Very good scores as we go into round two, the sequences round. This time the teams may see a maximum of 3 clues because I want to know what comes forth. Journeyman, you'll be going first again. What would you like?
Water, please.
The water question. OK, you'll be seeing the first in a series of clues. What comes forth? Time starts now.
Fourth winter holiday. Is it in this
film series?
Oh, is this something like National Lampoons? They just go on vacation. Shall we just take next?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next, please. Oh no. Okay, fine. Peter Duck, please.
Do you know what Peter Duck is?
No. Next, please. Swallowdale. Fourth winter holiday. What's what?
It's a apocryphal, so presumably. Correct.
Yes.
I'm going to have to try to look at the gas now.
Okay.
3 seconds.
First summer holiday.
Not it, I'm afraid, though a good guess. Turophiles, do you know?
First, a nice slice of brie,
And why would that be?
just like cheese.
We love brie.
I would say tonight's heat is very much reflecting one of the problems of the modern era. Too much Grand Theft Auto, not enough swallows and Amazons. It's a problem with kids today. These are Arthur Ransom's children's novels, going back to the first one, Swallows and Amazons. Do you know anything about Arthur Ransom? What do people say about him?
Nothing. I don't know.
They said he was a spy. So either you don't know, or you're also a spy. So you won't know what his wife's job was.
A spy?
Was she at Bletchley?
She was
agent.
Leon Trotsky's secretary.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Nothing suspicious there. We don't know, of course, we don't know. Might not have been a spy. So no points there, but Turophiles, you may have your own question. What would you like?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. OK. What will come forth in this sequence is the first.
Could
Is
be
that
Victoria.
Victoria Regis?
Yeah. Next, please.
That's Edward VII Regis, so it
Okay.
goes Victoria, Edward VII, then George V, and
it's gonna
then
be-
George, and then Edward. It's either Edward VIII.
It's going to be Edward VIII, isn't it?
So
And
then
then
it's-
George VI, isn't it?
Yes, so it's EV111R. It's EVIIIR.
Yes, it is. And what's the sequence?
It's Victoria Regina, then it's Edward VII Regis or whatever it is, or Rex. And then after that you get George V, and then you get Edward VIII, very briefly.
That's absolutely right. But what's the code? What are these?
Successive monarchs and their...
And their numbers. They're
Well, it's
regal.
monograms. It's
On
their
you find
monograms.
them
You
post
might get that at the
boxes?
bottom of a letter. You see them on pillar boxes, exactly so. And, of course, the EVIIIR, they're very rare, the pillar boxes with that on, because he was king for such a short time. you know, there wasn't much time to get the pillar boxes up and down again. Journeymen, what would you like?
The horned viper, please.
The horned viper. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Harry Hill. So, TV bird. No, well, that's not. Next, please. Jonathan Wilkes. I don't know.
Doesn't
Jonathan
mean
Wilkes is
anything to
no.
me.
Next, please. Lisa Riley. Oh, is this you've been framed? Is this host of You've Been Framed? Oh, it could be. Is it Jeremy Beadle was the first one? Is it going backwards or forwards?
I think going backwards, surely, because Harry Hill, I imagine, would have been before.
Okay. Jeremy Beadle.
Is the right
Thank you.
answer. And why is that?
Hosts of You Been Framed going backwards.
That's exactly right. Hosts of You've Been Framed going backwards. Jonathan Wilkes only presented one series in 2003. Do you know what the prize is for having a video shown on You've Been Framed? It's always been the same.
£250.
It is £250. Have you ever won that prize?
I'm afraid not, no.
You ever sent a video in to You've Been Framed?
No.
I don't even know what it is.
They sort of show, they have to get little videos of, you know, grandma falling in the duck pond, that sort of thing.
Oh,
No?
sounds unfortunate.
We tried to stage one when I was at university and send it in, but it just looked so rubbish and fake that it was obvious. I think someone sent it in the end, but obviously they didn't put it on and we didn't get the money.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. Well, we'll try and arrange for something awkward and embarrassing to happen tonight. It usually does on this show. It usually does. And, of course, it's all being recorded. So there could be £250 in it for you. Jeremy Beadle is the right answer. Back to you, Turophiles, for a question.
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What will come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Worcestershire 15, something to do with cricket?
Next, please. Yeah, it could well be, in which case it's going to be...
Is it 15, 16, 17, 18? Who won last year's county championship?
Neither of those won the county championships the previous years. Next, please.
Glamorgan. That's all crickety,
So
isn't it?
it might be teams who were relegated or who, might be relegated from... No, sorry, came back up. Lancashire? Sussex, 18.
Not a sequence, I'm afraid. Journeymen, do you know?
Pass you to my cricketing correspondent, Thomas Grinier.
Is it Durham?
It is Durham and the number...
18.
Durham and the number 18. And why is that?
Orders in which these counties became major counties for cricket.
That's exactly what it is. It's the opposite of being relegated. They were elevated to first-class status, and 18th would be Durham. Well done. So you get the bonus point, and you may choose your own question. What's it to be?
The lion, please.
Lion. OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Jameson. It could be just Derek Jameson, Wogan, Evans. I think if that comes up Wogan, I'm tempted to gamble. Or shall we just go next to play it safe?
Yeah.
Next, please. OK, fine. That's totally wrong.
So that was renamed as an X-ray.
That's called X-ray.
XYZ. W. XYZ.
Oh, whiskey, of course. Yeah, it's the native phonetic alphabet.
It's like Zulu.
So,
I know, but what you're saying for what
Time.
what was changed to Zulu?
Oh, no, it's not what was changed. It's just another word.
description.
Just looking off the Z.
Like Shaka?
The film starring Michael Caine. So, Zulu.
That's an acceptable answer. We went with simply South African language. What is this sequence?
Phonetic alphabets, synonyms of phonetic
Jameson
alphabets.
whiskey.
Jameson whiskey.
Oh, of course.
That's exactly right.
X-ray.
Jameson
X-ray.
whiskey. Then we've got an example of an X-ray. A New York baseball player will be a Yankee, so we need something to denote Zulu, South African language, or that film with Michael Caine. Well done. Last question of the round for you, Turophiles. The twisted facts. What would come forth in this picture sequence? Here's the first.
South African flag.
Yeah. Next, please. That's Seychelles, I think. Next, please.
What's that?
That is not Central African Republic, is it? South Africa, Seychelles. I wonder if it's... It can't be going backwards.
Say that again.
Could be.
I don't know what the flag is South Sudan.
No, but what are you trying to... What should we go for?
3 seconds.
Let's go with South Sudan.
No, the French flag.
Is an acceptable answer. Do you have any idea why?
Is it the number of colours on the flag? So there's
It's-
a 5 and then a 6, a 5, a 4, and then we're going down to a 3.
That is exactly right. So it doesn't really matter what that third one is. We need something with 3 colours. The tricolour is absolutely right. I mean, you could have said the Union flag, anything with 3 colours.
Amazing.
Do you know which country's flags those are?
South Africa, I think, is that Seychelles?
Yeah.
The second one?
Uganda.
No, it's not Uganda. I don't know the.
Do you know over there?
Probably remember it when I'm told it.
OK, get ready to nod. It's Mauritius.
of course.
That is, of course. That is the flag of Mauritius. But it doesn't matter, just something with
that's
4
island.
colours. And which country's flag has the most colours?
South Africa.
It's not South Africa.
Central African Republic?
No.
Possibly one of them was like a.
It's not. It's Belize. And that's because it's a really great flag,
it's
the flag
picture
of Belize.
the 2 people in the middle of
There's
the...
a picture of 2 people.
Yeah.
It's a bit sexy. I mean, maybe I'm revealing too much about myself there. But there's a picture in the middle and it's just really colourful. There's trees, there's people. It's a really nice flag. Anyway, anything with 3 colours would do, and the French flag is certainly one. Congratulations. That means at the end of round 2, the Journeymen have 12 points, the Turophiles have 12 points. Time now for the connecting wall, and Turophiles, it'll be your turn to go first this time. So would you like lion or water?
Lion, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the lion wall, starting now.
Samantha Mumba.
Samantha Morton.
Samantha Fox.
Samantha Fox could be.
Samantha B.
Oh, well
Great.
done.
Okay, cool. What else have we got?
Bloomberg is that system
Hem,
used
so we've got
online.
bits of shirts as well. Hem, vent, collar, seam, lining.
Possibly.
Take seam out.
There's silver surfer, silver lining, silver birch, silver service.
Great.
OK, now stop.
Yeah,
3
slow
lives
down.
now.
Okay,
That's your time.
so we've got vent, collar, hem.
Don't.
So I'm not. It's all right. So these are parts of a shirt, and I think those are news information or
Services.
networks.
They are sort of networks.
So it's it's because you get Euro News, you get Bloomberg News, you get Sky News, you get this from National Geographic. Should we try it?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, let's
go
give
on.
it a crack.
Simple as that, the wall is solved. So that's immediate 4 points for the groups, and I'll give you more if you can tell me the connections. Morton, Fox, and so on.
Famous Samanthas.
They are. Who are they? What do they do?
Samantha Morton's the actress.
Samantha Fox is a busty model from the 80s.
Touch me, I want your body.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's get back to the quiz. Yes, Samantha Fox, of course.
Mumba's
Is
an
a pop
Irish
star.
singer,
Yeah.
songwriter, yeah. Samantha B, isn't she a comedian?
Yes.
She's a comedian.
Yeah.
She's a Canadian comedian and the host of Full Frontal, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next group, service, lining, and so on.
They can be preceded by the word silver.
You can put silver before all of them. Collar, seam, vent, hem.
Parts of a shirt.
Now, I would say they are parts of a jacket, but you can have them all. I suppose you can have a vent in a shirt, so, yep, that's absolutely fine. And the last group, Euro, Sky, and so on.
Are they news networks? Cable, TV.
Cable or, yeah.
Yeah, they're all news channels. So, you found 4 groups, you gave me 4 connections. I'll give you a bonus 2 for getting it all correct. That is the maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's bring the Journeymen back now and give them the other wall, the water wall, see how they get on with solving it. You also have 2.5 minutes to solve your wall, starting now.
Airports.
OK, fine. So what do you
Possibly
think?
Lennon, de Gaulle,
Best.
De Gaulle and
Armstrong.
Armstrong. Right. No. There's also Aaron
Aaron,
Sorkin
Aaron
and
Copeland.
Who else? Aaron Lennon, he's a footballer.
Yeah, try that.
What's the fourth of Aaron then? Oh, Aaron Spelling.
Yeah.
Copeland, Sorkin and Lennon. Yes. Great. Driving.
Things with holes in them.
Or test.
Cheerio,
Tests. Okay.
Cheerio, bagel, polo, each have holes in them.
Yeah.
Cheerio, bagel, polo. What else has holes? Is it Kringle?
Or
Got a hole in it?
Sushki.
Is this, I'll do Kringle first.
We've got
No.
tests there.
Yeah.
Tests. Okay. Driving test.
Litmus test.
Litmus test, stress test,
breath test.
breath test. Great.
3 lives now, plenty of time.
3 lives.
We've got holes in the airports.
Okay.
So what can't be a
Polo, bagel,
Cheerio.
Cheerio, hole in the Shishuki.
sushki? I don't know.
We know. I think we're fairly set on the groups, aren't we?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's just we've got 3 goes at something.
Yeah. Okay. So try,
Okay,
try
Shishuki.
sushki.
No.
Fine. It could be a Marco Polo airport, isn't it?
Yes, there's Marco Polo
Okay.
airport.
So we're thinking Cheerio, Kringle,
Sushki, bagel.
and bagel.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Solve the wall. Very well done. So that's 4 points immediately for the groups. What about the connections? Sorkin, Spelling, and so on.
They are all Aarons.
Yes, they are. Who are those Aarons?
Aaron Sorkin, writer of The West Wing. Aaron Spelling, producer of things like Beverly Hills 90210. Aaron Copland, the composer, and Aaron Lennon, the footballer.
And the next group, driving, stress, breath, litmus.
They are all tests.
They're all tests. Crinkle, bagel, and so on.
They are food items with a hole.
That's exactly so, ring-shaped food. The sushki, a small, sweet Russian bread. It's ring-shaped, and I think the kringle is a Scandinavian, similar kind of thing. And the last group, de Gaulle, Armstrong, and so on.
Airports.
They're all airports. Do you know where they are?
De Gaulle's in Paris.
Armstrong's New Orleans.
George Best is in Belfast.
Polo's Venice.
Marco Polo Airport in Venice. Although who'd arrive by plane when you can get the train in, or perhaps charter your own boat? So that is 4 more points for the connections and a bonus 2 for getting it all right. That is the maximum of 10. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Journeymen have 22 points, the Turophiles have 22 points. And if you know your donuts from your polos, then why not apply to be on the next series of Only Connect? Go to the website bbc.co.uk/onlyconnect to find out how. But we are in a dead heat as we enter the missing vowels round. So buzz with care here, teams. Remember, if you get anything wrong, you will be losing points. I can tell you that the first group of clues are all foods and when they are traditionally eaten. Turophiles.
Pancakes and Shrove Tuesday.
Correct. Journeymen.
Turkey and Thanksgiving.
Correct. Turophiles.
Haggis and Burns Night.
Yes, it is. Turophiles.
Simnel cake and Easter.
Correct. Next category, TV shows featuring Danny Dyer. Turophiles.
Danny Dyer's Deadliest Men.
Correct. Journeymen.
Danny Dyer's White Royal Family.
Well done. Turophiles.
Danny Dyer's Funniest Football Flaps.
Not it, I'm afraid you lose a point. Journeymen, do you know?
Danny Dyer's Funniest Football Flops.
Not it, it's Danny Dyer's Funniest Football Foul-Ups. Next clue. Turophiles.
EastEnders.
Yes, it is. Next category, musical genres and their country of origin. Turophiles.
Reggae in Jamaica.
Correct. Turophiles.
Flamenco in Spain.
Correct. Turophiles.
Grime and the United Kingdom.
Correct. That last one is Bhangra and India, but the quiz is up, and I can tell you that finishing on an excellent 24 points, it's the Journeymen, but finishing on an excellent 29 points, it's the Turophiles. Very well done to you. You are straight through to the next round. Well done to you two, Journeymen. You've done really well tonight, and you'll get another chance to make it to the next round later in the series. Thank you very much for watching. And before we go, there's just time for my mind-reading act. Everyone at home, think of a TV show. Is it Diagnosis Murder? Now, for the vast majority of viewers, this is a real damp squib of an ending. But someone out there is more impressed than they've ever been. Goodbye.